Dog, sorry. Hello.
Good morning, Jill. How are you?
Here we go, you guys. We're here with I'm here with all the way in Calgary, Alberta, with our newest cover star, Julie Skinner, you guys, all the way in Kelowna. So we want to talk to you about what true collaboration has looked like through Canadian artists who don't even live in the same city. So
Yes.
I think it was back
And
in
we haven't even
2000.
met in person.
I feel like I have though.
Me
We've talked
too.
more than
We
most of the
talk a
people I
lot.
really
We
see.
talk a lot. Yes, we do.
A lot about our dreams. That's what we talk a lot about, you guys.
Yes.
When we're posting together, I have a fascination and have become a fan of Julie's fashion, her message that she shares to social media and for herself, really, that we talked about all of that fun stuff. We did this gorgeous spread in 2024, you guys. Was it
Yeah.
2023 or
Yeah, no,
2025?
it was last summer right before my husband's accident. So yeah,
Yeah. There's
yeah.
been a lot that's happened to Julie, you guys, in the depths of our creating with her. And that's kind of the story that I really, really love with Julie, you guys, is the authenticity that she brings to the pages. To
Thank you.
me, accountability, the professionalism that you do being a stylist, a business owner, and have many different ventures happening for yourself in
Thank
this
you.
coming year that we're not allowed to talk about because it's so big, you guys. That's how it goes. But we kind of captured Julie yet again and asked her if she would put together this instrumental cover that we're doing with her that is very organic to what we believe in. So we're going to
Yeah.
get into what Julie believes in because her message, you guys, is resilience, brilliance, beauty,
Aw,
fashion, and
gonna
being a
make me cry.
model. Being a model, yeah, she will cry. We'll get it. We'll get there, guys. Don't worry. But being a
It's
model
the hormones.
Oh, geez, really? Okay, and we're going to talk about
I know.
menopause, guys. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
A stylist and a model that's becoming famous in her 40s. Is that something that you ever thought would happen for you?
No, like pinch me. I mean, if I would have even just a year ago, just before we met, I mean, that was always my dream.
Really?
I've always envisioned myself very early on that I wanted to push the mold. I've never been a small girl. I've always been very curvy. I mean,
But you're
it's
petite, though.
I'm 5'7".
Are
I
you?
look, I'm about 5'6.5", maybe.
Okay.
Give
Very
myself,
tall
depends what
compared to
size
me.
heel
Oh,
I'm
my
wearing.
goodness. Okay.
Yes. So I think it's just really about pushing myself after so many years of just trying to find myself and be authentic to who I am. I mean, a lot of people think they know me through social media from what they see, right? But
Yeah.
there's so much more to the story. There's so much more grit, so much more of this journey and chapters that I'm so excited to finally be able to share with people because I think
Okay. You're
in
ready
social
now.
media, yeah, we're so scared to not show up perfect. And that is the message for me is I've always stated I want to be as true to myself as possible, that I want to show up the way that I want to show up and that I want to be authentic in the way that I do. But
Yeah.
it's also, I think, I don't do it for attention. I do it because my social media is for me. Even though it gets seen, it's the story of me believing in myself, believing in the dream that I've had. But I want to be able to look back at a year from now and go, wow, I remember that moment. And if you don't take the photos, you don't remember it. And I mean, as you get older, the memories of those little moments get slimmer and slimmer. And that is why, social media for me, I love capturing the story so that I can look back. And it's never, I don't use a lot of edits. I don't use a lot of filters. I
Nope.
do it because it comes from the heart. And, I try to find the music that goes with with how I'm feeling and the emotion that goes with it. And I just try my best to just be as authentic as possible. So
You have created and curated a very lovely space for women to watch. because in this day and era, which I notice as well, in the Hollywood scene as well, is that sometimes we lose ourselves, right? Where we're
Yeah.
showing too much of ourselves,
Yeah. Yeah.
physically and spiritually almost.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
feel like having that line of professionalism that you bring to the table with being in the
You.
pages and having where we showcase you to our network of people in film
Right.
and TV.
Right.
We're proud of that. You know, we're never like, oh no, we don't want to show our page or something. It's the first thing we want to do is say, hey, we're working with this lady. Check out her page and what she's
Right.
about,
Right.
because anyone can relate to fashion. But like
Yes.
you said, the moments that you're
It's
posting
the
all this
story.
stuff, it's the story of what you're wearing that day for the reasons why you're doing it.
That's
And
right.
you've
The why.
curated that. Like anybody in life, when we post, right, we kind of just willy-nilly post a lot. And I
Yes.
noticed that you're
Yeah.
somebody that's a curator, an
And
artist.
it appears that way, but a lot of it is,
Organically, you're doing it. I know what
yeah,
you're saying.
and I think, during this past year when, my husband was recovering and I was at home helping him recover, I lost a piece of me in the way of,
Momentum, maybe, at the
yeah,
time,
a little bit. And then,
promoting
when
yourself.
I started getting back in front of the mirror and just, it gave me a purpose to get up, get dressed, take a photo, tell a story of what I was going through. And it helped me process my emotions. It helped me
Wow. To
be
look
able to
back at
empower
that,
myself. Yeah. And I
you were
think
saying
that's
that.
really important, is just you have to find your why, but you also
Yeah.
have to I'm a person of dopamine dressing. So I can dress from one extreme to the other. I'll be baggy clothes, no makeup one day, and then I'll be, heels and a beautiful dress the next. But
What,
it all
as
just
women
comes down
are,
to how I'm feeling that day and
versatile.
what kind of power I want to bring to that day. But I always start my day in gratitude. I always start my day in journaling, well, most days. And,
Oh,
that's what helps me gain the grounding perspective that I need just to keep myself focused, to keep myself believing in myself, because this can be a
yes.
really hard
Because
journey.
it doesn't come from other people, I've noticed as
No,
I get older myself. The validation, the do you like this? Did you support me? It really doesn't matter
they
in the
get
end of
quieter
like
and
what
quieter and
your,
quieter.
yeah, what your lane of your successes and what
I always
your
say, stay in
accolades
your
and
lane.
everything. This magazine is part of that, celebrating people's accolades. We
Right.
were saying about pictures and how important they are. And I thought,
Yes.
yes, hon, and you're, as being a mom and stuff, we had photo albums back in the
Yes.
day, in the
Yes.
90s and all of that.
Yes. Yes.
Nowadays, like, I think that's why I made a magazine, you guys. I love photos. I love looking back at the memories, the moments that we shared together, the art that we created. So we really align with why we're doing our art.
Yeah.
It's to connect with people and
Yes.
to just be in existence and be ourselves. And
Yes.
sometimes that's hard, hun. So let's talk
Yes.
about the details of that for people who are
Sure.
younger and going out there wanting to start a channel, become famous, all the things. And they're wondering,
Right.
how does that even happen? And like you had stated from the beginning, you have been through so much. COVID kind of
Yes.
changed your business model with
Yes.
being a stylist and having your own salon. But now you work out of your own space and they come to you now. You're going to everyone
So
else.
it's a little bit, yeah, like,
Where are you at with where you're? Yeah,
well, I think, this last month and a half, 2 months of going through a little bit of a battle of my health issues again. It
yeah.
was a challenge, really around just after Christmas. I would be really great for 2 weeks and I'd think, okay, I can get back out there, I can do this. And then I would crash. My hormones have played a really big part in this whole journy. And,
Let's talk
my,
about that. About
sure,
so from the
sure.
beginning, when we were working together, putting out this spread, you just finished the photography for the summer's first spread of fashion we'd ever done. So it was
Yes,
really fun, and
yes,
you're all
yes,
excited. But during that moment, you had actually gotten a car. Your husband had gotten in a car crash, and then your
yes.
health started declining after. And
Yeah,
really, that's not something public that you posted, but now you're ready to talk
no.
about it. So let's
Yeah, so
talk
I can,
about all the things.
sure, and I can talk about it. I
The
mean,
journey,
obviously there's still a pending
wanting to talk about too much.
information. So I can
Yeah.
I can talk a little bit about the my story of how it impacted me
Yeah.
and how it impacted me supporting my husband. So right after we had done our shoot, and we had started doing a little bit of the lead up to it, I was flying to Edmonton to go see Game 4 of the Edmonton Oilers for the playoffs last year. And my husband had just finished work and he was driving to meet me in Edmonton and I was flying in. So I had flown in and I had got up from the seat in my airport, out of my seat on my airplane, and I found a dime, which is for me very symbolistic of my angels and my family. And I didn't think anything of it. And I got off the airplane. I got my bags. I talked to my husband, and so I said, "Okay, well, I'll give you a call when I'm in a cab." So I got in, got my luggage, got into a cab, and I was about 3 minutes, 4 minutes from the airport, and I had a phone call from a number I didn't recognize, an Alberta number, and I answered it. And unfortunately, it was one of the witnesses of the accident scene. And my husband had been in a horrific car accident. If he wasn't driving the vehicle that he was, he probably wouldn't be here with us today. So I had to take a cab to the accident scene. It was about 10 minutes outside of Edmonton, and I passed my husband in the ambulance. So I had to go. All the fire ambulance, everybody was still on scene, and had to grab some of his things. And It was a hard time. So I took the cab back to the hospital where I met my husband. And Those moments put things in perspective for you. I've been with my husband, we're 19 years. We've been married 15 years. We just celebrated our 15-year anniversary earlier this month. He's my best friend. He's my supporter. And it was an opportunity for me to be beside him as he has been through a lot of my health issues over the last 19 years. He's been my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader. When I was paralyzed, he told me, don't give up, don't give up. I would, try to get down the stairs or up the stairs and I would just collapse. And so it was my opportunity to be there for him. So that was the start of me pulling back from the magazine, unfortunately. That was it was a definite fork in the road, but it
No one would have
is.
known. You were such a consummate professional. You did let us know
Thank
what's
you.
going on, but we had so much content with you that we ended up promoting it for 3 months that nobody even would
Yes.
know, like, oh, she's not fully like in it in her posting mind. But
Yeah.
I thought you did such a brilliant job. A
Thank
lot of
you.
people
That means the
love the
world to me.
photos
Thank
that you
you.
guys did. It's just something different that we're curating. I'm not like
Yeah.
reaching out to many people to do what we do together because I feel like you're the best of the best that I've met
Aw,
before. So I feel
that
like,
means
oh,
the world to me.
why
Thank you.
chase anything else like that? But your fashion in itself. So we were talking about pictures and stuff,
Yeah.
and we had said that that photo that I initially noticed you from, and now we're
Yes.
playing homage to that in the
Yes.
magazine itself.
Yes. So
And
let's
I
talk a
thought
little bit about that, I think.
that's what I want the audience to know. Yes, the magazine is seen by a lot of people and there's a lot
Yes.
of celebrities
But
and
I'm
stuff.
very
It's
sentimental.
very
I'm
cool.
very sentimental and, just telling
Yeah.
the story of how organically we came together because I still pinch
Those even
myself
make
thinking,
sense.
thank
I
you,
took a
thank you,
chance.
universe.
You took a
Thank
chance
you,
too.
universe.
Well, I
Yeah,
saw what you were up to and I was like, oh, this lady would be so fun because a lot of our network is 25 plus
right.
and I'm really love not you're not conservative, but like you're very appropriate for every season. There are many
Thank
times
you.
I've gone to your page to see like what I should wear today. Like, oh, the vest thing. Oh, that's in right now. Right
Okay.
now I'm wearing something as well that you gave me.
Yes, that was one
The
from
jean
my boutique.
jackets.
That was one from my
I love
boutique
it.
that when Leela came out and I got to style and have fun with her last October, I think it was. We sent that out. I think Leela bought I think
She
she
did
bought
buy
that for
it
you
for
from
me,
I had
yeah.
a pop-up shop of all my boutique stuff. Leela, thank you. That
I
was so
love
much
that
fun
about
that
her.
day. She's actually coming into town sometime, I think. She
You
reached
guys
out to
will
me,
have
so
fun
I'm
with
so
that.
excited to be able to catch up with her over a coffee. So
So look at that. You're making
full
friends all the
circle
way out
moment.
here because
Yeah,
people notice. It's not just, and not everyone gets the same reactions from creating content with us or by
right.
themselves on their stuff. I think the combination of, yep, us sharing it for a purpose really helps for a reason why to do
Yeah.
it. But I
Yeah.
feel when I look at somebody and I say, okay, I think it's time you tell your story, is because when I'm following them, I feel like I want more from them. It's really a personal relation between each
Right.
person who's in the magazine. But yeah,
Right.
you do an amazing job
Thank
curating.
you.
So let's
Thank
tell
you.
them how we met and how
Sure.
fast things are. And this time is a different
And
story.
even how
And who's
fast
all
and larger
involved?
of a scale this one was. Okay, so
Yeah.
I always go back to that serendipitous moment of meeting Crystal at the yacht club and taking a photo with her and she posting it and I posting it. And I had a fangirl moment because I had already been following her. And so when she walked in and she had no makeup on, she was in Lulu's and she came out. A girlfriend of mine actually was in the bathroom with Crystal and they started chatting and then out she comes and I went, you are. And Krista went, no, you don't. And I said, yes, I follow you on Instagram. And it was just one of those things. We took a photo. She posted it. I posted it. You saw it. And then that the next day I was at Rosebuds and I was doing a ball gown, which is we're going to do a little throwback picture in the magazine with that dress because that was the reel that you first scouted me on. And it was one that I was so proud of because it had come in from the women's shelter brand new from a donation, and so she had brought it into Rosebuds, and I just happened to be doing a couple gown pictures for Leela there, and it came in and Leela said, you should try this on. And I went, oh, I don't think it's going to fit. And so I put it on and it was like fit like a glove. I'm like, it's sold. I got it. It's mine, you know? And it was one of those moments that I didn't know where I was going to be wearing it, but darn it, I am going to wear it. And so I started walking around in the parking lot and I'm like, I feel like a princess. And it was just one of those moments that I captured that on that reel and I went, this is this is bringing me back to my spark. This gave me this
Yeah.
like, oh, I
You were
just
happy
felt
in the video, and
beautiful.
that
And
transferred,
sometimes
yeah.
you just need something, and that's what clothing can do and the right outfit can do. And that's kind of, you know,
It helps
it
with confidence, I'll
it
tell you that.
does. And what
Yeah.
I give other women, what a lot of women don't see is this doesn't come just like, I mean, it is easier for
It's
me,
years
but
of
I still
learning your
have
craft.
yeah, and I still have a lot of moments where like the other day I was yesterday or the day before yeah, the on Wednesday before the second photo shoot, I was wearing those chow linen dresses and I had woken up really early that morning and I was just needing something to bring me back this energy. And I have a dressing room that I go into and what a lot of people don't know is I have a lot of really beautiful dresses, really beautiful clothing and sometimes I love to get dressed up for me to get into I almost call it like my second personality. I dance in the morning, I look in the mirror, I give myself a little
Ooh.
pep talk. And that's what you got to do because, I always say fake it till you make it. But when you're moving your body after you journal and you just, even if it's for 30 seconds or a couple minutes, those 3 minutes, if you get up 3 minutes earlier to allow yourself to just dance in the mirror and look at yourself
Prepare.
and give yourself some positive affirmations, it's enough that just makes you just go, I
Yeah.
got this.
Your day
Whatever
will be
comes my
different.
way,
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to do it. And, not everything goes well. And then when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, I listen to Abraham Hicks. There's one thing on YouTube that I listen to every morning, and it's while I'm doing my makeup. So it gives me 10 minutes from the time I brush my teeth to the time I'm done my makeup. That's how much time I give myself in the morning
Okay.
is to listen to today is a good day. Today's going to be an amazing day. There's going to be a lot of things that come your way, traffic, you name it, whatever. It is your time to just go, you got this. You're going to be able to do this. So, whatever comes your way, you may not know. You're going to have some anxiety, stress, whatever comes. Just breathe through it and know you got this. So there's certain things that I do
Yeah.
every morning
You
that just kind of
prepare
help me.
yourself properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cope
And then
ahead,
you choose your
you're
clothing from
planned.
there, right? So by choosing your
Yeah.
clothing after you do all of that, it sets the stage and the foundation, which I always say you can't feel good in an outfit if you're rattled that morning. So dressing yourself, take that
It's
extra
so
little bit of
key.
time, start getting up a little bit earlier so you can have some time to just be, breathe,
That's great
and do a
advice.
dance in the morning, Like
A
that's
lot
what I
of
got to do.
people just wake up and go, and then feel like they
But you
look
have no
gross the
time
whole
for
day.
you.
You
Yeah.
do have to make that effort, don't you? I noticed that about you. You have a certain routine and boundaries and way of a lifestyle that you live. And
Yes.
that didn't just happen overnight, you know. But
No.
nowadays you're, in your 40s and
Yes.
you're
I'll be 47
experiencing.
in just like
There
a
you
few
go.
months.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for you, hon. You look so great. Of
Thank
course,
you.
everyone says that about you. Um, I think like the message that we're sharing about being a model in your 40s and what that looks like to other people
Yeah.
to inspire women to really love themselves, not just because a magazine is doing it,
That's
but
right.
being prepared for when those chances do come. I notice
And
that a lot of the time when
yeah.
women are ready or they're not ready, and when opportunities come, they aren't taken because they don't believe in themselves, maybe. So I feel
Well, it
like,
seems
yeah,
like, when we were
important.
connecting earlier this year and you said, "Are you ready to come back?" And I said, I didn't have the confidence. I was going through a lot of stuff, a lot of health issues, a lot of chronic pain. I was going through a lot of bowel issues
So when did
and
this start? Like what happened with
so
your health declining for a bit here?
so for
Was
this
that the
last
menopause
I
or
say yes, about the last 6 months. I mean, I've been battling many, many health issues basically my whole life since I'm about 12 years old. And I did a post yesterday. Last night, I went and saw a woman named Sarah from an acupuncture clinic here in town, and so we tried cupping on my stomach because I had at 17, I was in the hospital for 3 months with an NG tube up my nose, and I've had many, many years of being in the hospital long term like that with an NG tube up because my bowel, due to my endometriosis, due to a twist in my bowel. I have a lot of scars. I've had probably over 15 surgeries in my gut area. So I have a lot of scar tissue and a lot of endometriosis lesions that, attach to different parts of my body. I've had a lot of bladder issues. I've had to have my bladder cauterized 3 times. And, I'm finally ready to tell my story and not use it as something that I'm shameful of because, a lot of people when I tell my story, I hadn't told my story on social media. They just saw, here I am. But what people don't see is when people find out and we get to sit down and really talk about who I am, they go, I cannot believe you got through all of that. I mean, I raised 2 kids, with autism, my stepchildren. That's something that is a little bit off limits for, conversations about, but that was a hard time. That was a very full chapter in a lot of love for myself. I learned a lot, but I made a lot of mistakes. And, our story is not always white picket fence at the end of it. We have a lot of things that make up that side of the story that I'm not really, really ready to talk about yet. I'm still trying to do my best to heal from that, to grow from that. I have a lot to process in things that I could have done differently
oh, don't be
because
so
you don't
hard on
have the
yourself,
skills,
hon.
right? But
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
all part of my
I agree.
story. And,
But now though,
it's,
right, is that
yeah,
if this chapter in your life is more focused on you and your
that's exactly where
husband
I was going with
and
that is
yeah,
it turns
and
into
that's
that
okay
pain to
too. That's a
purpose.
beautiful chapter.
Right. And that's where we talk about that pain to purpose is really just really finding, a balance of it's, moving on is doesn't have to feel like you are forgetting all of the chapters that brought you here. It is about empowering you to propel you to go forward to, say it's never too late to chase your dreams. I put, a lot of my heart and soul into the last 16 years of really, not so much losing myself, but losing the things that I loved. I wouldn't ever have any regrets on the way that I did things, but that is why this is so important to me is I had these dreams early on in my 20s before I met my husband. I traveled the world. I was Julie from the Love Boat. I worked on Princess Cruises. I trained in Santa Clarita and I launched the Captain Circle program on Princess Cruises. So I started in Alaska and I came home from Russia. And that was my story. I've seen the world. And I think having the experience of living in Egypt with my 2 stepkids, my husband for, a period of time and them going to school over there and the friendships that I made. But it was also the fashion and the culture that allowed me to really gain the experience that I needed. But it also made me really understand the uniqueness of my energy. Egypt is a very spiritual country in all avenues, not just religion, but in a lot of ancient stories, and it adds such a huge part. I mean, I have raw underneath here. I wear it all the time, but it is a huge part of my story and my perseverance. And you gain so much perspective when you live overseas, and I've traveled everywhere. So bringing all of that back, I just feel like this is the opportunity that I get to showcase who I am, what I've gone through, and that you don't have to let these hold you back, that it's okay to let yourself shine and not feel like
Yeah.
you have to feel guilty for moving on. And my husband was a big supporter when I told him that we were going to team back up. He says, now Julie, you're all in on this modeling thing. Like, I know you were back and forth on the styling thing, but if you're going to do it, you got to do it. And so having his support has meant the world to me. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
at home,
I wouldn't
having
have
him
had
being
to
like,
do
good for
that.
you, hun, put yourself out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not easy when your partner doesn't support the arts and doesn't like when you put
he is a
yourself out.
big
Yeah,
cheerleader
so
for
it's very
me.
wonderful. Well,
Yeah,
we
it
love
is.
him. And how's he doing now?
He's
How's his
actually doing really
recovery?
good. He actually flies back home from work today. So he's just coming home from the weekend, which is lovely. So he could come home and kind of celebrate this week with me, which is
Yeah,
great.
the end of
Um,
everything
and so he
of
was
this
looking
issue.
at the photos, the proofs that we've had just from the Monday shoot, and he was like,
Hot.
"Is that my wife?" And I went, "Oh yeah, we were in
You have to
36
blow
degree
these up
heat
on
by
your
the
wall.
pool with the faux fur. Like we pulled it out. I can't wait to see the rest of the shoot."
That's what I want to talk about too. I want to talk about menopause as well.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that and how it's affected the mindset and for women who don't know what's going to
Oh,
happen, it'd be
yeah.
so nice if somebody would
I
tell
wish somebody
us.
would have given me the manual. I mean, I had to have a hysterectomy at 35, and then they had to take my ovaries at 36 after a year of huge pain and endometriosis spreading, because it had already attached and to my scar tissues, my bladder, my intestines. I struggled with that a lot, and
So
um,
painful, I hear.
with it was
Debilitating,
debilitating,
right?
which has
Yeah.
caused I have
Long-term
Raynaud. So
effects.
a lot of people ask why I self tan is because a lot of the time in photos you'll see my hands turn blue. So
Oh,
that is why I use self tan, which is a great product. See you Sunday here in Kelowna, and I've been
oh,
a huge supporter of them. I use it on my face, but I use it on my body because it hides my Raynauds. And so when I get stressed or I have a high pain day, you'll see sometimes my palms are blue, or my fingers are blue, and that's also part of some of my other health issues, right? And so
oh.
menopause started basically very quickly for me. Before my first surgery at 35, they had given me a medication to put me into menopause. So you can only take it once in your lifetime, and it lasts 3 months. And what it does is it slowly shuts your system down, so that by the time you have your surgery, you are kind of already, your body already knows what to do. Unfortunately, my surgery was bumped, and I couldn't redo the medication. And so I'd gone into menopause, and then
Mhm.
my surgery had been bumped by I think about 2 weeks. So my system kicked back on, and then I had my first surgery. So that in itself did a huge number to my
Yeah.
health. It really affected me more long term than I realized, until we start peeling back the onion and the doctors start looking back at all of the things that has caused me to go through what I'm going through.
Mhm.
And so I've tried so many different hormone medications on the market. So I've been on hormones now for 11 years, almost
Okay.
12 years now. And I will go through, I'll be on the same medication for a couple years and it'll be great. And then all of a sudden something will change in your body, or I'll have a flare up of, stress or something, or health issues, chronic pain, what I have, struggled with. And And then the medication will stop working. So then you got to retry. And some have worked really fantastic for another year or two, some last 2 weeks, and I crash. And I feel I've never had, depression issues. I have a lot of family members that do, so I knew what the signs were. But I crashed and I withdrew. And so a lot of my friendships, I mean, I'm very blessed that I have really good, great women in my life that understand this last year and a half. I go through these periods of like, I'm checking in with you, we're able to
Yeah,
connect,
you do check in with people.
but then I go silent because for me, I'm a turtler. So when I'm battling stuff, I have a
What's
hard
there
enough
to
time
talk
taking
about
care
right
of
now? Yeah.
myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a hard, and I'm not one, I've always been one, hey, how are you? Let's talk about you. And when people want to talk about me, it's like, okay, gotta go, bye.
Yeah, yeah, you're
And
avoidant.
so yeah, and so I do. And I
Why do you
think
think that is? Is there a shame around not being perfect on Instagram? I think so because
no,
people,
well, a lot
that's
of
a
people
thing.
do. A lot of people do. And I think that's where this last year has been an outlet for me to all of my affirmations. A lot of people don't realize I write a lot of my own stuff. It's a way
Yeah,
of
you're
me
gonna write a book
processing.
one day, I think, babe.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Yeah, we're
But
gonna push you for this.
I was actually just in when I was going through my garage trying to find some 90s outfit, I found a lot of my poetry dating back to like I think I was 13. I've always been a writer. I
Hmm.
love writing poetry. I love writing a story, but I love writing affirmations because if I'm going through it, there's another woman that is going through it. And so I had the most
Mhm.
beautiful message yesterday from somebody from high school, Asia High, and she sent me the most beautiful message saying, I don't think you understand the impact, that, I love
Hence
your
why we're
content.
offering
I
to
love what you're
have you
doing.
on our national cover.
Right. And I
Yeah.
think that's the most important part is just making women feel heard that you don't have to be perfect, that it's okay to show that you're not doing great today.
Yeah, they'll say,
That,
look, Julie's not doing well and she's still keeping on going. I should be like that. There are
but
times that
it was
people
a
will be
very
like
short
that. Yeah.
period. Yeah. And what people don't see is those affirmations and those pictures I take an hour later, I'm having a lot of
Things going on
not
with
great
that.
moments. And
Yeah.
but that's the one moment that I can show up for myself. And I always say fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
If I can keep positive for an hour, then maybe tomorrow it'll be 2 hours, maybe the next day it'll be 3 hours, because the brain fog that menopause brings, the
Yeah.
confusion, the lack of love for anything, you lose your
Okay.
passion for anything. You don't even know what you're interested in anymore. And the things that you used to love to do, I went through these phases where it's like I felt like I had ADHD at times. And I say that because I know it firsthand within our family. That menopause is very similar in a lot of ways sometimes because you start and stop so many projects, but you don't finish them.
Yeah.
And that's what menopause has done for me, where when my hormones are working, I can literally be
Take
able
on
to
the
clean
world.
my house, or I can do laundry without, going to the dryer, going to grab something and then leaving the dryer there, and I'm doing dishes. And then oh, dog's got to pee. Okay, the sink's left on. Oh, okay. Like all these different things, like you don't
Keep us
realize
off
how all of it
focus.
impacts you.
It
And my
does, yeah.
focus was just, and I'm a good, I can balance a lot of different things. I work really well under pressure. Weird, but given
On-set
our
work,
short
yeah.
period of time, but it gives me a focus. So when a lot of people go, "Oh my gosh, I could never do what you just did." For me, that's where I shine. I
Mm.
love being able to have something that takes my focus that I can zoom in on. And what a lot of people didn't know
Link in the
about all my shoots is I'm the stylist, but I'm also my makeup artist. I'm also my hairdresser. Like, I mean,
You're
I have a
setting it
great
all
hairdresser,
up.
but I style my hair. And I'm curating all of these looks right down to who I'm collabing with my jewelry and what kind of look
Yeah.
I'm going for and, the accessories that go with that. Like all of
There's
those
so
things
many
are really, there's
details.
so many details
And you
even
could do
just
that or you couldn't, but you choose to make that effort and you
that's right.
showcase that. And I think
Well,
that's
and
what the audience has been
Sam
liking is
from DU
seeing that journey.
right, and Sam from DU Photography, a huge shout out to her.
Wow. Yeah, she's a champion.
She brings my vision. She's like, okay, Julie, do you really got to change your shoes? Yes, I do, Sam,
Yeah.
and she loves,
The
she loves me.
details.
I'm quirky. I have to take pee breaks in the oddest times.
Well, let's talk
You
about
know,
this shoot, okay? So,
oh
guys,
my
the
gosh.
last photo shoot is in the edition already online. There's a website that you can see all the photos. But this shoot was, the 2.0. I
Yes,
loved your last shoot. It was so perfect. You even themed it to the green color
yes,
scheme that we had. But
yes,
this time we just went to a different level
we
of
did.
being hot. And I don't know what happened. Like I was like, don't, hold back. Like let them see your beauty. Let them see your those
And I
moments
think
of
that's,
being kind of sexy. That's okay, and you did better than we could even imagine.
and
So
I think, I,
let's
I
talk
think
about who's involved and how
yeah,
that yeah.
okay.
Let's
Well,
shout
I
out to
think this time
everybody who
around,
supported. Yeah.
yeah, I think this time around it was really about self-confidence. I've always been a confident person, but this year, when I saw Sarah from the Informatic Clinic and the Wednesday before you called me and asked me to come back, and if I wouldn't have seen her the day before, I probably wouldn't have agreed because I just wasn't still feeling great. So I saw Sarah again last night, and I literally burst into tears. So just a shout out to her. She's been such a huge part of this journey for me of me saying yes. Um, but right from the moment that we had our FaceTime, and you asked me, and I said I'm in. And immediately I'm messaging Sam, hey, you want to do something again? And she's like, tell me more,
Because you
and it
do
was
go all
great.
in. So you for
I
you to say
do.
yes, you have to be in the right. I get that you
You
need to
do.
be and have all the things so you can
Yeah,
even take off 2 weeks to be able to do something like that.
that's right. And then I instantly reached out to Renee from Renee Naomi Designs and said, we need some bold jewelry. What are you going to make for me? And she has the most beautiful pieces that she sent out. Everybody's gonna see some of the pieces. We did bold jewelry for some faux fur leather looks, like, it was so good. And then some charm necklace that she made for me, some beautiful petite earrings that we did with that white colored shirt. That was so good. And then she made me a beautiful bangle that we did. I wore with, I think I wore that with, I can't remember now, one of the shoots. So they're gonna have to wait and see from the magazine. But then, I want to give a shout out to Steph from Eclectic Boutique. She sponsored a outfit. We're gonna have to wait to see what that is too. I can't wait for you to see the photos. It was beautiful. It's business side. We shot some great shots of it crossing a boardwalk, or sorry, the crosswalk. So big shout out to Steph. Yvette from Howdy Vintage Thrift. Oh my gosh, that store is just amazing. Our paths crossed when I was on my way to go set up for my uncle's celebration of life. I was like, I hadn't seen that store yet, and I had to come back once I met her. Then, feeling just seeing how our stories aligned in a lot of ways, but also we are connected through 1 degree of separation of a girlfriend of ours. So she has been phenomenal in just the support that she has provided. And she was the kind of mastermind of me just going interview that day. And it was so cool, so organic. And I love telling the story of bringing these small businesses to life. So it's not highlighting me, it's me turning the camera
Yeah.
and just highlighting their why. Because a lot of people do little advertisements and stuff for businesses, but nobody really focuses on the small business and the grit and the grind that it takes and the why that they get in and their passions. That's what I love, is showcasing. But it's also, this is free. People don't have to buy something to support something. And
Yeah.
if that's my way, I mean, I've been doing it for years. What a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the content that I did for free because
Mhm.
I really wanted to help, and it gave me a purpose too, because I was going through my own stuff and being in front of the camera and helping these businesses do what they were doing. I loved it. I loved it, but it also fed a fire in me to keep going. And sometimes you need that little carrot to remind you to keep getting up, keep doing something. It gave me a purpose to get up and get dressed every day because I was struggling, right? And so who else was part of a big shout out to Carla. Carla, she is the owner of Bricks and Mortar and Sticks and Stones here in town. Candace, she was my dress thrower. Oh my God, that was amazing. You can't wait for you to see the pictures of that. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Uh, I'm
The
sure.
locations that you shot at, you're
Yes,
kind of advertising Kelowna, which is
yes,
very cool that we're
yes,
venturing out with putting more copies around this province in Canada.
yes,
So that's
yes.
something too that people don't really realize that like when they go to Kelowna, they could meet if they're so lucky, they could meet with you,
Yeah,
have a little tour
yeah,
guide like you did with Leela and have fun. That we can
yeah,
all connect with each other. Just because we're far away doesn't mean we
yes.
can't connect. We're a
Well, it's even
testament to
like,
that.
it was like I was going through like here. So Chad, I was literally walking down the street, walking my dog, and Chad was in the magazine edition that I was in. And we had met. I tried one of his breathwork with Carolee, and we had done a session. And it was a
Right.
beautiful, beautiful channeled session that I absolutely love using some sound breath work. And I had seen him walking down the street just like a block from my house. And I went, Chad, he goes, oh my how are you? Like, what's going on? And so it was one of those things that the people, hi, Chad.
There
Yeah.
he is,
And
guys,
it's
in the
just one of
video.
those things. And I said, how was your trip? Like, what's going on? You're doing great. And he's like, I'm watching your stuff. I'm so excited. You're back working with Jill.
Wow.
It was just one of those things, right? Like,
I love how
you
many
never know
people you've
the
actually
impact of
connected
how it
with.
all
That's
comes
so cool.
together. But when people are, genuinely connected because you've brought us together, it's so cool
It's
how
through your
the
guys' art.
stars
It's not
align and
me,
bring
no.
everybody together. Yes, it
It's you,
is.
it's you guys. You're so fun. But you know what? You really made me realize that, like, yeah, back in the day, we had photo albums to share with family. The
Hmm.
pictures mattered where we'd take them and print them and choose which one. And nowadays, we just throw them on Facebook. And I love that the curation that we do is kind of like a photo album for the
I love
magazine.
it.
And it
I love it.
documents all the times and everything. And we're going to make sure that
And the
everyone who's a part of
process.
this is credited
Yes,
online and gets that
I'm
spotlight.
trying
It's
to,
very important to
I
us.
was like, oh, I knew I was forgetting something today. I have my whole list. So if I've forgotten anybody,
That's
it'll be
okay. They'll get a
mentioned.
shout
I
out
swear
when it's out.
I'm going to blame it on my hormone brain this morning.
That's okay. It's just amazing to see how many people rallied around you and your family, even really
Yes, my
happy for
family was a
you.
huge portion. I mean, a lot of
It's a
them were
big deal to
here.
do a cover, yeah.
It is. And, losing my uncle in January, and that was a very traumatic part of this story and the grief and the loss that goes with that. And
He would have been
getting to
so proud of
celebrate,
you. He would
getting to,
have been one of the
yeah.
people really happy for you, I think, yeah.
And we got to celebrate his life last weekend, and I was so blessed. This song that is such a huge part of this journey of healing. Whenever I hear it, I had captured it in a behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
I had tagged the new country, and they reposted it, and I went, "Thank you," because that's a memory that I know he could see. Yes, I finally made it, because he always used to say either
Everybody
lottery
loves that.
tickets or some country song, because we've been listening to Garth Brooks since I think I was like, I don't know, even so young. But
Mm.
all of the old 50s music and, Richie Valens and my aunt and uncle were a huge part of my life. They were such a huge supporter of me throughout my whole journey of, the night before my aunt went into a coma. I was supposed to be already out working for a cruise ship, and I took her out for her last sunrise, and my contract had been postponed a little bit, and I was blessed to be able to show her her last sunrise, and that's why when I did that behind the scenes, wearing some of her dresses for the celebration of life, or like my morning routine is I wear her house coat, because for me beauty is in the memories that you have. And when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'm a very sentimental person. A
I
lot of
see
people,
that. Yeah.
some people know that about me, but others can tell because, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
have a
With the
bin from
details.
1987. Oh, right. Okay, I have a bin from 1992. Found my grad dress that when I was looking for my 90s vintage jeans that I needed, my Guess jeans for this shoot for the Western stuff. I wanted a specific pair of
Yeah.
jeans. So I
Alberta
went
will love
into,
this, the photo and shoot.
I have so many shoes. I'm embarrassed to say so many shoes and outfits and clothing, but I hold on to so much. So it's like last year when you said, where did you get all these vests so quickly? I told you about one thing and you had like 12, and I went,
Yeah.
I have my storage unit. right? So I keep stuff because if you keep stuff long enough, it comes back in
It
style. And my
does, doesn't
husband,
it?
I get a freebie only certain times throughout the year where my husband goes, okay, okay, good, you saved that. But most of the time he's like, are you ready to get rid of that yet?
Yeah, yeah. But
So
you never know,
you
maybe people
never
will
know.
call upon you and need your fashions.
That's right. That's
But
right. And I
hey,
love
just a
I love
journey.
styling my close friends and having them come over for a glass of wine and we just get them into my dressing room and so a
Have
lot of it
fun.
just to
Yeah.
get stuck, right? And I love playing dress up. I think it's the best thing. And women love to play dress up in clothes that aren't theirs.
Yes, that is
And
true. And feel
when you can
something
combine it,
new.
yeah,
You
and when you can
feel
combine it with
different.
like a wine or a coffee or just connection, it doesn't have to be over alcohol, but
How does
sometimes when
that how does that
yeah.
work with clients? They call you and then you at different times or like
Well, I'm
bringing
kind of getting
clothes
out
to
of that. Yeah,
them.
I'm kind of getting out of that now because
Okay.
I realize that I need to pick a lane. I have to pick a lane. So if I'm stretched too thin on this side, then I'm not focusing on this side. And my husband just said, Julie, like, what is your dream? And just like you asked me last week,
And it's
what
hard to
is it that
answer
you
that
want to
because
do?
we're scared sometimes to say the
That's
truth.
right.
Yeah.
And so now it's like, when we first started this project, had just finished my pop-up and I was like, oh, I'm going to dabble in this and I'm still a stylist, but I'd love to be a model, but I don't have the confidence to so I'm going
Hmm.
to try and stay in all of these lanes. And so it was my one of my girlfriends that said, like, what do you actually do? Like, what do you do? Right? And I went, what do you mean? I think I'm pretty good at like
I'm
everything.
good at
I'm
everything.
not
Yeah.
not my ego, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
what like it was a lot of self-reflection that I had to do. And it was absolutely right because if the closest people to me, my closest friends,
The
don't know
message isn't
exactly what I'm
clear.
doing, the
Yeah, if the
message just
message
isn't
is clear.
clear. And so that's, I think, the purpose of doing this shoot at this time and really focused on I've done the healing, I've done the self-reflection, I'm ready to give it my all. I want to go all in on the modeling stuff. I want to just
I
try it. And
love
even if
that.
and so I'm taking a step away from the stylist. I mean, I'm still going to do
Okay.
my friends and I still have a
When
couple
they need
clients that
you,
I
yeah, it'll
personally
always
shop
be there.
for,
Always.
but that's always going to be a passion. But I think if I had to choose, now's the time. I want to just go,
For
okay,
summer still,
this
yeah.
is the lane that I want to be in. I want to try it. I want to be something different and I want to bring pain to purpose that my scars are my chapters. They are my story. But I feel really blessed that I feel confident the last, couple weeks of getting on the right hormones. It's only been 2.5 weeks. The day
Okay.
that I saw my acupuncturist on the Wednesday before you called was the day I started my new medication. I just had my phone Zoom follow up with my doctor this morning before this call, and he went, "So how you doing?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm doing pretty good." He's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well," so I told him what we were doing. He's like, "Okay, you got to. I need to see a magazine. My wife needs to see this." And I went, "Done. You're a good doctor. I
It's
love you."
exciting for the whole community, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I can't
It is,
believe.
and I love that because I'm very vulnerable. I am not
Yeah.
scared to say I'm struggling,
Yeah.
and I'm not scared to. I make a lot of mistakes. I say things that I shouldn't. But I own
Yeah.
them, and I'm not scared to apologize, and I'm not scared to say, you know what, I don't know all of the answers. I did mess up, but I truly feel like I'm in the right space, in the right headspace now. I've done a lot of self-reflection on just letting go of a lot of things that held me back, but
Yeah.
my own person, my own self-doubt of saying, well, I tried dabbling in this modeling thing and maybe I'm just not that good at it. But because I have a quirky personality and I'm loud and I like to laugh and I don't take life too seriously. But I think that's the most important part for
You're
me
fun
is
to
I
be
finally
around.
feel
Yeah.
like I'm
You
I'm
are.
able to just be myself. And if it doesn't work for you, then that's great. Then let's move on, right?
Things are
Like my arms are a
seasonal.
little, I got some extra skin. You know what? That's okay. No, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those are the things that I used to focus on. Now, this is who I am. This is the stories and the chapters that have brought me here. And I'm blessed to
Wow.
have us,
It's very
connect again and do
inspiring, you
this.
guys. If you guys are listening, I hope everybody understands that the road to success is not just so quick, and it
It's
does
not.
take you yourself to believe in that and to
Yes.
truly go for it and go
Yes.
all in. Because when you go all in, people can see. Like you put me to
Yes.
tears many times when you're posting. because I can see that you actually care about what we're creating
I
together.
do.
And
I
that
believe in
means
you.
more to me than you know. It gives me my why and my reason. And
Oh,
so I
thank
thought,
you.
like, with all this effort that we're putting into it and the picture ideas that we have, I
I
was just
can't
like,
wait to
this
see
probably
this.
should
It's
be a
gonna be,
cover, guys. Like, let's expand to Kelowna with Julie and just, like let her shine for her network. And what we hope is that Julie will come to the Rosie Awards with us
yes,
as our
we are
guest.
working on that.
We're
Yes, we
working on
are.
it's so possible. I know
Yes, it
God will
is.
put that into our hearts and make that
We're putting
happen.
it out to the
The
universe
network
and
would
saying,
love
I
to
gotta
meet
be
you.
there. Yes,
Yeah, we're
yes.
going to be putting together something when you come to town for everyone to get to meet you anyway.
Can't
So
wait.
I feel
Can't
like
wait.
what a journey and so much effort, you guys, that Julie has put in on the behalf of
Sam has
supporting
too.
us back. Like
Yes,
that's
Sam too.
that
Sam
that's it's
too.
been a collaborative experience, and without you
Yes.
doing all the creative work, it wouldn't be what it is. So it
Oh,
really is a lot because of you guys. But I'm so glad we're taking this venture together.
me
I want to
too.
leave the audience with, yeah, that powerful message that we did talk about beauty being just a number and
Yeah.
resilience, all that
And
tagline that we came
redefining
up with.
beauty,
Mm,
redefining beauty from the inside out. I think, what other people see on the outside, if you haven't done the work on the inside,
it
it's going to catch
shows.
up with you. It's going to catch up with you. You can fake it for a while, but if you're mean or you don't have good energy or I'm not saying you have to be perfect because hell no, I am not perfect
But
in
our
any means.
essence, yeah,
But
we
I
got to
but I
work on
do I
ourselves
take
with that. Yeah.
accountability. I take accountability, but I expect that in return. And I'm just learning boundaries. I'm just starting to learn this. It's taken me 46 years to go, you know what? I deserve more, whether it be friendships, even family members. Like if it's not working, it's not working anymore. I just don't want to put the energy where it's not being reciprocated.
Okay.
And I think that's also part of this redefining beauty from the inside out is I made mention of somebody that sent me a message yesterday. She's known me since high school. And she saw one of my posts from yesterday and she went, you are, you inspire me. And then I had another one just a couple days
We want
ago
to be
go,
like you and be
well, I
happy,
think
and I
I
think
think
that's
what
the
it
main
is
thing.
I have been the same. My energy, who I am, me talking loud, not keeping anything short version of anything, short story never,
Okay.
talking a lot, being loud, laugh. But I am the same person that I was back in high school or,
Mm.
even in my 20s. And I have a lot of love to give. I give back. I want to empower of the other women. I tell them I'm proud of them. And it comes from a genuine place of love and encouragement. I want people to feel empowered because the amount of words that are as powerful as I believe in you, I'm proud of you, I see
Mhm.
you, I'm holding space for you.
Mhm.
All of these things, I mean, all of my story goes back to Laura McDonald from Conscious Intentions. She and I teamed up when I opened up my boutique, but it was more than that. Her story and my story collaborating together, she is such a huge part of this whole story of where I am now. Her
Nice.
friendship has mean the world to me, but she has continually helped me to push past my boundaries, but help me peel back the onions internally and go, but what do you want? Who are you really? And
Yeah.
it was when she almost lost her house in the fires 2 years ago, a year ago, yeah, a year ago, yeah. And sorry, time goes by too quickly. And
Mhm.
and now her getting back into opening up her business again and me going for a session. I had shown you had seen one of those reels where I had my scarf on and I was doing some really heavy work. We were doing a lot of Reiki energy, reflexology, but she also helps me dive deep into getting to the root of some of my responses, whether it be reactive,
Mhm.
defensive, explosive, I can be.
Yeah.
And
Me
I
too.
take accountability for that because I'm not perfect, but I'm doing a lot of self reflection and really understanding why the root of the cause of why I react the way I do. You can only use menopause as an excuse for so but for me, it's about redefining that beauty from the inside out. I needed to feel like I had my, what together. And for me to be able to show up properly, but be showing up authentically. And that's where I started that little hashtag, not started it because it was already going for a long
Yeah.
time, but authentically me. I want to show up being authentic. And it's like the post that I posted yesterday with all the cupping on my stomach. If you zoom in, you see a lot of the scars. I'm not scared to show up and show the imperfections. That's me wearing no makeup. That's me being vulnerable. That was a picture taken by Sarah because I said, I want to show people that I'm not afraid to show what others may look at
Or trying
as
to be
weakness.
something you're not.
I'm
That's a
not
big
trying to
one.
be somebody I'm not,
Yeah.
but I also love to recognize women that have helped me along the way, whether it be health issues, emotionally, mentally,
And then you bring them with
supportive.
you and then
Yeah,
shout
right.
out to them
I
in
like to,
magazines. You're so
yeah,
sweet, hon.
yeah. So I just wanted to say one last thing because
Yeah.
I'm always trying to
Give us
not be
something
so
good
short.
to go on the day with. Yeah.
Jill, you
Oh.
are one of the most amazing women that I've come across in a very long time. Your belief in me, your support, your
Mhm.
encouraging words with everything that I've gone through this year, and you holding space for me and waiting for me to be ready to come back. I truly honor you and I'm grateful for
Oh,
you.
awesome.
And I just want you to know that thank you for seeing me and my potential and just pushing
Yeah.
me to be better. So
It was
thank
all
you.
you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for believing in us too. And this is a huge venture, hun. A lot of people are benefiting from you being in the
Yeah,
magazine, not just because you're a star in your own right and coming up, as we all
thank
know,
you.
is because how much you care about everyone. And you will
Thank you.
make that effort to make sure somebody's seen in that page or talk to them and not just be
Yeah,
like, oh, hi, you're a good person. And that's why we
thank you.
love having you. But
Thank you.
also, you create probably some of the best content that we put out. So we're
Thank
really
you.
impressed with the photos. Like, guys, why we're talking like this? When you see the photos, my goodness, I don't even
And
want to
there's not
say
a lot of
anything yet
edits, I
because
don't
I'm like,
think.
ah, it's so
Sam's so
Hollywood.
creative.
It's
She's so
so
good.
Hollywood. They're
I
gonna
it
love it.
is we got some little throwback to Grease looks. We got some
Yeah,
cool
we did.
vibes. I'm so excited. And
We
some
just
mob
tried it
wife
all.
stuff.
You
Some
just
mob
like
wife. It's
went
so
for it.
cool.
The work that you put in for the details of every
Thank
piece,
you.
choosing, cultivating, and working in the bounds of the people that were even supporting and wanting to
Yeah.
do this with you. When they see this, people will go, oh man, that's what she was doing. I probably should have been involved in that. So maybe, another time, guys. You're always we never like replaced a fashion section. Just never
Yeah.
happened ever since you weren't in it. There was
Thank
like
you.
two editions that came out
Thanks for
that you
holding
haven't
it
been
for
in.
me.
So you're always like our fashion guru that
I love
we
that.
believe in and want our network to go follow, be inspired by. And I
Thank
think
you.
if the audience met you in real life, it would really put it together. They'd be really
Thank you.
happy for that. So
Thank
good
you.
luck. Let's manifest that together that we can bring you to Calgary or I come out to
Yes.
Kelowna at some point. Okay. Distance
Okay.
and age is just the numbers and the
Yes.
details, you guys. What matters is believing in yourself and connecting with people that want to see that vision happen with you and both
Yep.
succeed. So thank you
Thank you.
guys. This is Julie
Thank you so
Skinner.
much.
Check
Thanks,
her out on
Jill.
our YouTube, our Spotify, and our next cover of I'm Here with Magazine, issue 19.
So it's Julie with JS Signature Style.
I'm Here with
Bye.
Magazine.
Okay. Hold on. Let me